Were you interested in what I've done? Or,
Absolutely, yeah.
How many your dad played?
I'm not quite sure.
One.
I reckon he only won one as well, but
What's
he won
that?
5 best and
Premiership.
fairest.
I played in 2.
2, did you?
Yeah, 45 and 55.
Oh, 45.
Right.
And Roger could really play?
Oh, he was a full forward.
He was a good player, apparently.
Yeah, Roger was good.
Was he anything like Richard?
He wasn't the fastest, no, but Richard was be more mobile than Roger was, I think. Yeah, but Roger was a solid player.
Yep. How many games you play for Angaston?
Never kept a record. I played my first game, I reckon, in 1939, when I was 16, I think, and then I was only sort of just a lad, and I joined the Navy in 42 and came home on only 2 occasions in 4 years, and I played for Angaston in the second semi-final at Tanunda, which they won, and then they won the premiership, and that was I never won in a winning premiership side, and that year they won the premiership, and I played in that second semi-final, which they won here. I had to go back on the service, of course, then. I came out in 46.
Yeah. What year was it that semi-final was in that you played in and that Angaston won?
Must have been 45, I reckon, or then, well...
Because certainly Angaston won in 45.
You'll see, which I forget, but whatever that year that was when they won, I played in the second semi-final.
And then you went back to the Navy?
I was home on leave.
You're home on leave?
Yeah, and I'd go back on the Monday, I had to go back into the Navy, because we only received leave about, we were away most of the time up in the Pacific.
Yep. So how were Angaston travelling when you got to Angaston what year?
53 we were married.
Yep.
54 I didn't play. 54 I played, but we did the zilch. With 55 we won, 56 we left.
So what happened in 1955?
What happened? Well, we won, of course.
Yeah, well, something obviously happened to make things change if you were no good in 54.
Oh, no, I don't think we all improved, probably, camp boys.
And one of the things that helped that side was that I can remember going out to Eden Valley because they were in our competition here for 2 years.
Yeah, not very long.
And all the Hurls and the Kemps came in here, and gee, that made a difference to the place.
And of course, those years they had Eden Valley come in to play with Angaston, and then they formed their own side. Of course, we didn't have imports, and we never won a match for about 3 years.
45 and 55, nothing.
45 to 55, and then when we went to 68.
And that was because Eden Valley formed?
Yeah. We had about half a dozen players from there. Hurls and Lillycraps and who else were there? They had a good player. Raisler, centre forward, yeah.
John Langer was the captain coach. And a few of the Miles, Roger, Brian.
I played football for many, many years, and I had been fortunate enough to win fairest and best 5 times, and in all I played. Well, there's no records, unfortunately, because the people that were in charge, they had a kit bag and they lost the kit bag, and all sorts of things happened. There was money missing and God knows what, So I played well over 300 games. I started when I was, well, in 1945, that was just after the war finished. When the war finished,
Yes, 39 to 45.
39 to 45. And so I first started playing A-grade football because that was the only team we had in then, and I went through and I don't really like to say this, but I was approached by 3 different league clubs. Big McLean, I can always remember I got this letter. I have heard of the prowess of your football capability. A lot of bull.
You should have kept that.
But I didn't. We didn't have the money to,
To the trainer, I guess.
to follow it up. So no, I enjoyed it playing, and I got the same kick out of the last day I played. I cleaned my boots and I went out, I feel, gracefully and enjoyed the 20 odd years that I played. I think I was about 34, we worked it out that day, we were saying.
Oh, at least.
And I was, in 1956, I think, I was runner-up for the medal. I lost it on a countback.
It's the male medal.
Yeah, well, it was called the daring medal in those days, which was equivalent to the male medal. Chap I knew, a late member of a member that just died recently, Ron Wiedenbach, beat me, and it was incidentally I can always remember that morning. I was working in the railways, and we were travelling from Angaston to Gawler every day. I was the porter, and I used to snip the ticket sort of thing, and I got to Newsagency, which is 4 miles down the track. And a chappie said to me, "Oh," he said, "congratulations, Roger." He said, "You've won the top award." And I thought, oh my God, I didn't really, I'd been in sort of in the voting a bit over a few years. Got to Gawler and came back. I hadn't told a soul. When I got back, he said, "Oh, Roger," he said, "I got terrible news." He said, "You only came second." I said, "Well, thank God I didn't go and boast to anybody." Now, I was working in the railways in my early days. That was my first job before I took over the business. And I used to play midweek football for the Railway Institute. And I was fortunate enough to be selected in 1950 to go to Sydney to play in they had a New South Wales, Tassie, Western Australia, South Australia, all the states. But I had to pull out of that because we were getting married that week, that year, and back in 1948, that was football, and I used to stand some quite good league players that were made up there. Oh, the firemen. There was the police, tramways, railways. But in 1948, I was fortunate enough to be selected in an interstate team for the railways in Tasmania.
In cricket?
In cricket. I've still got the blazer and the cap to prove it.
All the Mileses could play?
Mileses? Yeah, they were right, yeah.
Yep.
Roger was a better player than Brian,
Yep.
I thought. But I got on pretty well with both the boys, Roger and Brian.
And he was pretty handy full forward.
He was.
It's just one of those things. We got together, clicked.
Because 1954, Angaston finished bottom.
We finished bottom a lot of times.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, so 1955, you must have got a few floaters in, such as...
Yeah, or young Hanna and...
So you really moved around with the bank?
Yep.
What they call a floater?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, the football clubs call, they love the floaters.
You play football, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You make a good treasurer.
Yeah.
Be secretary.
So did you fill any of those positions?
Yeah,
You did?
not all at once.
No, but you were treasurer.
I mean, they were in a bank or school teacher or whatever. They played with us while they're here, and then got moved to really Erdna Whoop Whoop or whatever, and off they went. Yeah. So, and particularly guys in banks and police force, school teachers and so on. Once they'd been somewhere, they never went back there. They were always moved on somewhere else. So.
Angaston and Newry and Tanunda all relied on guys working at the railway station, or being a banker, or something to do with government stuff.
A teacher, policeman.
Yeah, all that stuff, yeah. See, I was picked as 19th man in that game, and where are we? Yeah, Brian Miles. He was quite a good footballer on the wing, and he broke his collarbone.
Yes, yeah, I think he broke his collarbone in the first quarter, but I'm just not quite sure of it.
And because I was on his man, I had to go on and take his place. He only was out there for a few minutes. So I had a fairly full game in the A grade.
Because that was back in the days when the interchange only came on in case of.
We only had two then, them days, yeah.
And it wasn't like a on-off sort of situation. You were just there in case.
Yeah.
Because no interchange in those days. You know, if someone came off, he was replaced by the 19th or the 20th. That was it. You know, the 19th went on and stayed on. The fellow that was replaced can't have a share. You're right.
Yeah.
That's how it worked.
Yeah. Who coached that year?
John Lange.
Where'd he come from?
Bergwood he did.
Birdwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, he was worked for Percy Turner, the butcher.
Oh, really? Gun.
He was. He took me to the old Adelaide Oval once to watch football. Yeah, that was really good. And Max Miles is still going, apparently.
Yeah, over in Victoria.
Apparently that 55 one was pretty good because Owen Guyot used to always tell me the story.
I saw that game. I was only a kid, but I saw that game at Freeling.
Apparently,
Brian Hurn?
is that right, that Owen was standing Horry Moore for Newry, and someone, I don't know who it was, had a mark.
Roger Miles.
15 yards out, straight in front.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll kick this goal and we'll win. Apparently, Roger lined it up and kicked it straight into Owen Guyot, and Horry was standing there, and Owen Guyot, the goalpost was there. He's only 2 yards out of the goal.
Yeah.
Of course, Owen was one of the he used to kick those flat punts, and he kicked the goal. And they reckon you could drive through Newry that night because they'd all, they were supposed to win. They were they were
hot favourites.
All the hot favourites, and
I remember going over in the back of a ute with a canopy on it. There was about 6 of us kids in the back of it, and my old man never had a car in those days, so we had hummed a ride with the neighbours, and over we went, and I remember singing our heads off on the way back from Freeling. It was fantastic. So I was 12 years old. So I'll always remember. I don't remember much of the game, but I certainly remember the day. It was fabulous. But that Owen Guyot had spoken about that a number of times over the years. That kick, he said he was just standing there, literally with his arms folded, talking to Horry. Nothing to worry about here. Next minute, bloody ball's coming straight in. Oh shit!
thanks very much.
He had about a second to think about catching it, better catch it, so he did. So he reckoned he gave Horry a bit of a nudge. He had useless prick, beach again. So, but neither of them knew it was coming. So.
And who was in the would have been Brosser and Light then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was in the competition?
Tanunda, Newry, ourselves of course, Kapunda.
Udunda,
Udunda came in later.
Yeah,
Robertstown. Robertstown was the
Yeah.
furthest one away.
Freely.
Yep. And that would have been about it?
That is.
Yep.
The joy of them days, a lot of us used to go to football in Mick Doddridge's bus. So, and after the game we all bloody poled in the bus, and there were no stubbies them days, bloody long necks. Yeah, that was good.
So it was fairly social.
Oh yeah.
Bus trips are notorious. And you had one every week?
Yeah.
I can still remember the first time Robertstown came into the association, and I went up and covered that match, and I said Robertstown Oval resembled a sheepyard with a fence around it, and Robbie said, "Oh no, I can't put that in." He said, "People won't buy the leader anymore." I said, "Well, I'm just stating you the facts."
Because it was.
Well, I remember as a kid, I'd sit in the grandstand with Roddy Kleinig, my uncle, and he was doing the write-ups for the leader, and that would have been 10 or 11, I suppose. So Roddy's 90, like he's my mother's brother.
Lola.
Oh, really? I didn't. Of course, she must be.
Yeah, there was 11 in our family.
Yes.
7 girls and 4 boys.
Yeah.
And the youngest one, Andrew, was 80 last year, so everyone reached 80 or more. And that must be a record. I reckon the advertiser should publish that.
I probably should actually.
11.
Yeah, it's incredible. Apparently Lola was a pretty good netballer.
Yeah, she was. A good tennis player. She played tennis until about a couple of years ago. Socially, like that.
Yep. Yeah, well, they won a premiership in 1949, I believe. Yeah. Basketball, they call it now.
And,
I played netball and my daughters.
Yes.
It was basketball.
It was basketball at that stage. Because I think they started playing actual basketball, and it was then changed to netball. So, I was a captain one year, and that was the year we went premiers.
Yeah.
And now I played for quite a few years, and all my sisters played.
Yes.
And I know we went premiers in '49. I was captain that year. Oh, well, I was for a number of years, but that particular year we went premiers. So it would have, and then I don't know that I played after I had children. I don't think so.
What were the celebrations like in 1949?
The
Celebrations like for the 1949 basketball title?
Well, not quite as they are nowadays.
I was going to say it was possibly jolly well done, girls.
Oh no, Lola's always excelled at, well, I tell the story, she had a knee done last year, just 12 months ago today, and she's lamenting the fact that she can't get back to playing tennis twice a week. And she's now 85, which is rather remarkable to think that she's... In fact, I nearly bought her a new tennis racket for Christmas, but I thought, well, I better wait till she gets back on the court.
How many years did you do the write-ups?
Oh, I can't remember. 3 or 4, I reckon, perhaps.
And how'd you get into doing that?
Well, I was secretary, I think, of the footy club, and I used to do a bit of... And Robbie asked me one day whether I'd be interested in covering a football match. He needed somebody to get the side. I said, okay, I'll do it, yes. So I did it from then on.
You won all year, or you...
He won throughout.
You did, yeah.
Our bigger enemies were Newry. In fact, it was Lyle Gerlach that did that.
Really? Who's you talking about there, Lyle Gerlach?
Yeah, like he was a tough bastard. He was. I got on with him very well. He was pretty tough. Ron Wiedenbeck was another one too from Newry. Yeah.
Well, football was tougher back then.
I don't know.
Still pretty tough. Well, certainly any game between Angaston and Newry is pretty tough.
Always. And turn under a bit.
But legitimately going for the ball. I got my head in the way.
Of course, Angaston and Newry traditional rivals.
Oh yeah.
Yep, which you soon learned about.
Didn't take long.
Didn't take long. No. And who did you play in the finals?
Newry.
Newry.
At Freeling.
Yeah, at Freeling. Yeah. I know, Freeling, we only had a bit of an old tin shed them days at Freeling. And I remember Freeling quite well, got carted off on a bloody stretcher at Freeling.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
I just got run into.
Yep, as you do.
Got bloody winded pretty badly.
Where did you play in that game and in the grand final?
Oh, around the centre there somewhere, yeah.
Roving.
Yeah.
Charging round.
And we've got a Peter Lehman there too.
Yeah, old PL, yeah.
Good winemaker, good footballer.
Yeah, he was all right. He was a bit, he was in the side because he's fairly tall.
Yep.
Peter Lehman. Yeah, he was 90th man for 45, I reckon.
45 or 55?
No, 45.
45.
He
tells the story anyway.
He was an 18-year-old lad or something.
Yeah.
They said well, he was short, so they said, you're in it.
He was a client of mine for years and years. He died last year.
Yeah.
And he was fond of telling the story that that day that he sat on the bench late in the game. They were hoping that neither of them would get called on. The side was going okay, so unless someone broke a bloody leg or it, because they'd both been sucking on a flag and a port.
Yeah.
During the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the longer the game, they're not going to need us, So they have another port or two, and Lehman enjoyed a drink.
He lived in Angaston for many. Well, he grew up there and he lived there for quite a few years.
Yeah. So did you finish top?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you got Pastor Trevor Rue there. He was a great player there.
Brian Hurn, good footballer, good sportsman.
All those fellas. John Lange was a captain coach.
Well, there were Kemp boys. They were out at Eden Valley.
Malcolm Kemp, I had a coffee with his daughter in Nagel's Bakery at Angaston. And he can remember me playing because he called me 19th man every time I saw him. That never worried me. I was lucky to even be in the side.
Well, you didn't play too many years after that, did you?
No, well,
What happened? Injury or?
no, well, you had to go and earn some money. I went, I done 11 years of bit of shearing and rouseabouting and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And even then, I couldn't get a lot of the trainings because down at the Wairau sheep station, you didn't, he'd probably knock off and clean up a bit, and it was very dark before we even got home. But all the Kemp boys, they're all gone now, poor buggers.
Could play?
Yeah, they were pretty tough boys. At when the Soren, there's Kemp there, and three of them. I think one of the other ones played for a little bit, but...
Do you remember the celebrations, Neville?
Well, I don't really, because I was only a bloody kid them days, I'm against all the others there.
15, 16, yep.
Yeah, and but I do remember the photo was taken at the studio at Neary.
Is that right?
Because we had no club rooms them days.
Right.
Well, a shed that they pulled down to put up the new...
Are we talking about
The football.
not the grandstand?
Well, where the new club room, when we call, say, the new club rooms, the present.
Yeah, but that used to be an open air thing.
Yes.
Like most people, they were probably operating out of the old shed there.
Well,
or
no,
something
there was
small.
another shed here as well. It was like a longer shed, and I think they used to have a similar look bar sort of thing.
Oh, an asbestos shed or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we used to have, they used to cater in there for the show, and they used to cook saveloys and things in the, what's the name, but it was an open thing before the club rooms were built.
There's a bit of a shed there.
Yeah. So you went to the studio.
They went-
Neary. Yep.
Yeah, studio. That's where the photo was, final photo was taken
Yep.
at there. I remember those plain as day.
Mm.
It was all new to me.
Well, very new.
Yeah.
The footy mob, because it was 6 o'clock closing,
Yeah.
and well, invariably they came to our place where we lived at the old family home in Valley Road, Angaston, and we would have, I don't know how many people would turn up, but it was pretty often, wasn't it? I know that
And then they wouldn't leave.
they wouldn't leave. And, we had one fella that never drank, and his name was Warwick Halliday. He was in the bank at Sedan. In those days, we recruited a few members from down at what we call the flats. It was Neville Thornton. Warwick Halliday was in the bank, and I'll tell you a funny story about him. As I said before, he never drank. And this particular night he decided to have a drink. Well, you've got no idea what happened. He started eating the flowers in our garden.
We had, first of all, I had Gladys on the table or something.
Yes,
And he started on those.
on those. Then he picked up the ashtray with all the butts, ate those. Neville Thornton was the driver of the car, and they had to go back to Sedan. That's a fair way away. And he said, no way was he going to sit in the front with the wallet he's had, so he put him in the boot. He drove all the way back to Sedan, and Neville got into bed that night, and he was telling his wife all about it, and he said, and we put him in the boot. Hell, he said, he's still in the boot. So he raced out, opened the boot, and there was a groan.
So he just opened the boot and left him there.
But that wasn't quite the end of the story. The next day, he's at the bank, and the general manager did his annual inspection, and he came and he said it was either good morning or good afternoon, and it was the wrong part of the day. You know, Gray was still there. Of course, the away football trips at the end of the season, they were best not
Mentioned.
Really? Oh, that good. What did you think about all of this?
The women never ever went. No. And each year when the football trip came up, I had my,
I still feel still feel that bruise on my leg when I try to jump the water channel at 3 o'clock in the morning.
In Renmark?
No, that was at Ramco.
Oh.
How'd you go?
Didn't make it.
No, generally in Cogsbills the ball went our way.
Mm-hmm.
And things just went our way.
Yep.
Kicking all right.
Yep.
And the further we got into it, the better we got.
Mm-hmm. Who kicked the goals for you that day?
Oh, God.
Roger?
Roger Miles kicked some. Aaron got
Mm-hmm.
because we went down to Newry afterwards, and they were very quiet.
They would have been.
We were a bit rowdy, but...
You might have been. Yep.
Anyway.
How long did the celebrations go?
Not long, we had to go back to work.
Of course, back in those days, yeah. That's right, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we were all right.
Yep. And what was the weather like?
Fine, it wasn't wet.
Yep.
I don't think there's much wind.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you sang the song. What was the song back in those days? Panthers, brave and bold?
No, we never sang.
You didn't? Must have come in later. Is that right? You had no song?
No, I don't think so. There's Trevor, you remember Trevor Rue?
No.
I think he was a bit younger than me, only by a month or so. And his father, Norm, he had this bloody song about kangaroos, some bloody bullshit, on the way home, and Lance O'Neill, some of the older blokes that weren't playing, they were singing on the way home in the bus, and I've tried to think of the bloody song a couple of times. It's just
something about kangaroos.
Stuck it in.
So where did the Brave as Bold song come from?
I don't know. Just probably something bloody Schubert bloody organised, I suppose.
Yeah. I'll have to ask him, yeah. Is that true?
No.
Where'd the song come from?
That was it, just here when I even got here.
Really? So sometime after 1955 and before you got here in what would have been the
Well, like in the
60s or 70s, I guess.
70s.
70s, yeah. Yeah.
But then they changed it now. It's similar but different.
Pretty rough.
Yeah, it was a bit whatever for these, for people.
This day and age, yeah.
But now we've got, it's virtually like the North Melbourne.
Yeah.
Like that's kangaroos.
Hmm.
But when my old man played, in the 50s, they used to sing something about the blue and white angels.
Hmm.
I've got the words hidden away somewhere, but that was, yeah, well, that was in the 50s.
Hmm. Yeah.
Blue and white angels.
Yeah. So the brave and bold's only brought out on special occasions now.
Yeah, but the current one still has brave and bold,
Oh, does it?
and it changes a bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's softened up.
Other teams don't eat shit anymore.
Well, something like that.
And I remember that would be followed by thumping on the partition between the two changing areas. Whereabouts did you get changed in those days?
Under the grandstand.
Under the grandstand. Was there a partition?
If there was, I can't remember it.
No, you don't remember. I mean, possibly you were changing in the one area.
We didn't mix, so we must be separate.
Yeah.
Visiting teams
Yep.
and ourselves. We had it to ourselves.
Mhm. Yep. Do you remember any of the other people who were around the club then, like the trainers and whatnot?
Not really. I can see them faces.
Mhm. Were there any other Bankies playing when you were there?
Bank of Adelaide,
Yep.
Bill Linky, Bill Scott, I think.
Yep.
Now we've got none.
Two of them.
And now you've got
None. Zero.
So what was your first impression when you moved to Angaston?
Good.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's changed.
Oh, it certainly has now, but in those days it was small, it was good. It didn't take long to get to know people.
Mm.
Well, I got to know you.
But Angaston as a town has changed a lot. I mean, I remember
Well, it's growing.
I remember when the bistro went in next to the Miles' newsagent. Remember the bistro?
Yes.
And people were saying, a restaurant in Angaston, it'll never work.
Well, we owned that. I owned that. Well,
We
did.
still do.
Oh, really? Is that
Actually.
It was a butcher shop. Originally, it was a garage.
Oh.
It was a petrol station when it first started.
Is that right? That building?
Yeah, that's why it's got the big front doors to drive car in.
Oh, okay. No, the bistro. I'm talking about the just next to Miles' newsagent.
Mm.
Is that so? That was
a petrol
It
station,
was a petrol station. Okay.
like in the 40s, 50s.
Yeah, right.
Names on the board, McLeod's.
So they had the petrol station there.
Yeah,
Yep. And it would have been like a garage mechanic sort of workshop.
yeah, like a real petrol station, not like these days.
Yeah.
Then it was a butcher shop,
Yeah, right.
and then the bistro, and now it's a coffee shop.
Yep. And now there's 100 restaurants and coffee shops.
And then, what was his name? That started the bistro?
Blackwell, was it?
Yes, you're right. Blackwell. And then, yes.
He married a local girl, I think, and that was that's how he happened to be there, I think. So.
And what did you think when he first approached you with his idea for a restaurant?
Well, he had lots and lots of ideas, and I must say I didn't agree with a lot of it, but we went along. God, that's going back a few years too. Can't remember the actual conversations. He and I weren't the best of mates, but.
He certainly had a vision. Did you go along with his vision for dining in Angaston?
Oh, I think we must have.
Well, what happened was the building that's there now belonged to the
Kevin Roller, builder.
No, let me finish.
Sorry.
Well, it was, what was the name of the place he wanted to?
Oh, the museum.
Museum. Well, first of all, I was going to tell you the story that the Newsagency in the Deli, which is there, that was our business. Some years ago, Kevin Roddick came into me. He owned the...
Lucky.
He owned the bistro building, and the other one, what was there? Well, there's 2 other shops.
Oh,
there.
the TAB
Oh, that's right.
was in there.
He had he owned the TAB and whole freehold, and the other one. He came to me one day and he said, "I'm starting up a museum at Darien, and I need some money. I want to settle the shops." He said, "You're the logical fella to buy them." And I said, "Oh yes." And he said, and I said, "How much do you want for it?" He said, $64,000. Put out my hand, shook it. He said, "Shit, I should have charged more." What else do you remember? Do you remember the Jenny's sewing machine and that block of building?
It's still there.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always been there.
Yes,
It's wonderful.
yes, she's still running it.
Of course,
And who runs that?
Or a girl that's always had it.
Jenny.
Jenny, yeah, what's her name? I don't know whether she's married or not now.
I don't think so. No.
But she's run it for years and years. And I was in there only a couple of weeks ago and I said, "Gee, I'd hate to do the stock taking in this." She said, "Tell me about it." But she said she'd get somebody in to do it. So it's just packed with stuff. And she has a cellar underneath, and she takes runs classes sewing.
It used to be the old billiard saloon.
Yes, down on below. Yeah. But
The news agency used to be down there.
yes.
It all happened so quickly. It was a decision I had to make on the spur of the moment. And
How so?
well, a chappie by the name of Doug Mutton came to me one day and he said, "Roger," he said, "if I buy the news agency, will you do the deliveries?" And I said, no, not. Doug? No, I said, I'll take the lot. Well, he said, "Well, you can have it." Anyway, so we came to the stage of doing the stock taking, and we were down in this old cellar. Well, it's quite a big cellar. You had 3 or 4 big billiard tables in there. And he's taking into stock outdated diaries and all that sort of thing.
The chappie, tell him about the chappie. Did you ever know Don Copeland?
Name rings a bell.
Yeah, well, his father was a policeman in Angaston for quite a few years.
Yes.
And poor old Donny had to get, well, they tossed him, more or less tossed him out of here.
Well, he was drinking a bottle of White Horse Scotch a day, and he was not doing the returns. And
He had loads of returns he hadn't worried
and
about.
the thing
down
was
the
offered
cellar.
to me at a very reasonable price, and I couldn't knock it back. We borrowed trestles and a plank from the show hall. That was a counter. Where am I up to?
Well, you had to go down and be vetted and...
Yes. Mr. Emery was the...
No, he was the news one.
He was in the news. Anyway, Don had lost the Gordon and Gotch agency, which was a fairly big agency in those days and still is to a certain extent with their paper distribution. And he'd lost that because he wasn't sending the returns in. So
Oh, he probably wasn't paying them.
well, he wasn't paying them. And so that's when I had to make a quick decision. I said, "Yes, we'll buy it." I had to go back and I had to borrow $5,000 from my dad, who gave it to me at 5% interest. And I couldn't pay it off quick enough. But
We actually bought it at the end of 1965, December 1965, just before. I always remember because of decimal currency coming in '66, and we set it up. Yeah, well, go ahead.
I was trying to announce, come back to me, that I am still the original, the only one left from the original
Lottery agents.
And right up until last year, we were getting invitations. It's actually Richard's now, but it's
Still in your name.
it's still in my name because to transfer it to him, there's a fee attached to it. So we've spoken with the Lotteries Commission, and I'm sure it'll be voided when we go. And that was, there were two of us. There was another chap at Clare,
Heinrich.
Heinrich, and he and I always used to look at one another. Who's gonna be the last, you know, to have this dealership? Mind you, it's all changed. I wouldn't have a clue what goes on with all these computers and things now. But Richard is very popular in the shop, and it's just that it's. We probably had the best time in the shop when we were there, because there wasn't the opposition there is today, like
Supermarkets.
Supermarket at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 at night. You know, Richard may have told you about that. I don't know, but.
And weekends, you know, they'd close at 11:30 or something, and that's when we were busy. Saturdays, Sundays, early morning, late at night, and the supermarkets are all open now.
Well, you see, people go, it's a one-stop thing. They get everything in the supermarket, whereas they would get cigarettes and what's the name?
Do you remember we used to go down, we had to assemble the bikes
and cyclops. Oh, God, we've been through it, and there's so many things that we don't sell anymore. We've been fortunate. We've been able to educate the kids, and we've had quite a few overseas trips, and I've had the support of Lola all right through.
Possibly had your support too.
Well, 64 years of a marriage is a long time, and
never an argument. That's amazing.
Oh, no. If you can tell me a couple that have been married for 64 years and not had an argument, I'd like to see them.
I don't know. They're probably in a book somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, we never ever quite got to the stage of deciding who was going to have half or anything, did we? I think. Oh, hopefully it won't happen now.
I didn't really have any other questions. Anything else? Any other stories from Angaston in the good old days? Or?
Oh, well, if you, as you say, if ever you make a video of it, well, it'd be a different story.
Well, Graham Keatley, did you ever meet Graham? Is about 90.
He was the jeweller.
The jeweller.
I remember the jeweller being in town, but I don't remember him.
Well, his father had it for many years, and then he passed away, and Graham carried on with it.
And he lost his wife many years ago, and he built a house out down the bottom end of the town, and then came back and went into the old place. And I reckon it would have been 20 years ago. He said to me, "I put my name down at the rest home. It's come up. The availability of the rest of his it's happened about 4 times, but he said, I'm not quite ready to go into it yet."
And he's what, about 93?
93, 94.
And he still
walks up and, well, he shuffles up to get the
paper,
but he's not too bad, I tell you.
He won't have it delivered because he needs the exercise to walk up and get it.
And prior to that, Lola was, because it was rolled, he always liked his newspaper flat, you know, and so do I.
But how'd you get on with the distribution of the papers? Because you actually did that.
Well, Roger did it for many years, and then Richard. Roddy did it for a while. My brother had.
No, we've always done. Roddy did part of it.
Oh, right, those.
But in conjunction with his milk round, he delivered papers to places that were
a little out of the way, not on our normal round.
But when I left the railways, the shop was in dire distress. It was practically at the stage of being closed. And I was working in the railways, and my father, we had a discussion one night, and I said, well, I'd like to go into the business. My father had 2 properties. He had an orchard up Valley Road, with quite a few vines and apricots and peaches and all that sort of thing. So it was, I'm jumping a bit, aren't I?
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that I thought there was a possibility, and I always remember a representative from Polson's Refrigeration, a salesman. I'm standing there in my porter's uniform with a cocky little hat on the side, buying a £1,500 counter refrigerator, and he kept sort of looking at me. Am I having him on, all that sort of thing? But I was serious because I was about to leave the. I am jumping a bit. I was about to leave the railways, and I put my long service leave money down on a deposit on this £1,500, great big long display counter and all that sort of thing.
And we were the first ones in the town to have a deep freeze. It was about so big.
And I'll only break the glass. The other day I used to cover my tomatoes. But what happened was, I could see we sold fruit and vegetables in those days. And there was 5 people selling fruit and vegetable in the town. There was 2 chaps that had come into the town with their trucks, Birdsall in it and Hugo Wraithall, right? Mm. And they were in opposition to one another, keeping the price down and shouting abuse across the road to one another. And then there was old Turners at it. And then we had it. There were 5 anyway, I can't remember the other one. And I said, well, how are we going to get through this? So I stayed in the railways, bought a real old truck, and I started a fruit and vegetable delivery. Mm-hmm. And that was where we
picked up.
I was going twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, Wednesday to the market. That was a bit later on though, wasn't it, when we bought the van. And I was on 2 shifts, morning and afternoon shift. And I used to, if I was on afternoon shift, I'd do the vegetable round in the morning. Anyway, it grew to such an extent that we had 2 vehicles on the road, my brother working for me, and for my parents. And that started in 1948 when we got the Ford Ute. My dad. And that was another thing. He said, "How am I going to pay for this Ford Ute?" It was about 400 and something pound, you know, after the war. And I said, "Well, we'll make it." And I think we got to the stage where we'd sell 100 pounds worth of fruit and veg of a Friday, and that was a lot of money. And that was the turning point. And we bought through an agent, the Schubert brothers had a big market, and they were very good. I'd had my order. He wants to go out. You're hooked up still, aren't you?
Oh, I'm right.
Just take a video.
Schubert brothers, yeah. And then we could. Chappie at Newry, Hoffman, started up. He used to grow carrots, and he had trucks he had 2 trucks going to the market every day, and they would be bringing back fruit and veg, and they called it. Well, it was a depot actually. There were people coming from Maribel, Yadunda, Kapunda, Angaston. 2 of us going down there buying our fruit and veg. Sitting there waiting for the truck to come back, and then fighting over who got the ripest bananas and all that sort of thing.
Miles' Deli's been Miles' Deli for how long?
Since 1920.
It's 94 years old. I don't think it'll make the 100 because I think Richard's had enough.
So it must have made it to 100.
Yeah.
Still got it. 2025. Although I believe that he's just about to get rid of it.
Well, he's got it like on the market.
Yep.
But it hadn't sold yet.
Yep.
Well, who was the Miles who started?
My father.
His father. Mm.
And he was working 2 jobs too. He was looking after the orchard, and then he'd go to the shop at night. He just had a girl working through the day, and of course she was just there reading a book. And so, you know, it hasn't all been beer and skittles. The buildings belong to House Laffer Estate. Oh, it's been a butcher shop, and then Dad started the fruit and vegetable business. Because I remember him going. Well, he did a bit of delivery stuff too. We had an old Overland Light 4, I don't know what year it was, but it was pretty old. And we'd take the back seat out, and he'd go around.
We only started newspapers in '65. Oh, that's when we got it from bought it from down the road.
Yes. But certainly distribution is a real effort, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's a pain in the back side, because, you know, some mornings the paper machine in those days, you had to roll everything. First of all, my first memories of a paper delivery was when I was younger, when they used to get the advertiser and twist it. You ever heard of that? And then throw it out. Bend it and twist it. There was a special knack in doing it, and that you'd throw it without it opening.
But you did it for many years until Richard.
Well, I went through a period of we had to get a machine, didn't we? First of all, how did we do it before we were
with rubber bands?
Rubber bands, that's right. And then the machine came in, and it had a single roll paper that would put a wrap around the paper about that size.
Center.
And then plastic came into it, and then now they do it all. It's a lot easier. See, we get all the papers already
wrapped.
And that was the biggest bugbear, because the machine would play up, and you'd run out of the roll, and you have to change it. You know, this is 4:30 in the morning, and you know, everybody expected to have their paper delivered by 6 o'clock, and if it wasn't, they'd ring the advertiser and say, "This, what's happened to what's the name?" And then you get a few guys that had been on the wine the night before, and they'd come up with some complaint they didn't get a paper. And if there was a missed paper, I always used to say, "Well, it could be one of three or four things." I said it could be the paper is late. Number 2 was a dog could have picked it up. Next one was somebody could have pinched it. And lastly, it could have been my fault. But it was interesting, the people that owned the tourist hostel at one stage, she used to open up a little shop, and she was sort of in opposition to us, and she always loved having a dig, you know, because we were perhaps a little bit bigger in the deli part, and she was down the other end, and she wasn't getting the customers, and she kept complaining about not getting this paper. And they had a little room on this block, a little sleeping quarters for something or other, and they had a very narrow laneway at the back between the next residence. And we went down there one day. I was absolutely sick of her complaining. I looked around, and there was I couldn't count how many rolled papers were behind this.
What, a dog?
Her dog was picking it up every morning and putting it around there. And I can always remember how thrilled I was to get her, and I said, "Come here, Mrs. Derbyshire." Oh, we'll see. And then she was so apologetic. And we were friends after that forever. And Lola's been mixed up in Provis, and What do you mean, kindergarten? Not the. You were president of the
Mothers and Babies.
Mothers and Babies.
And secretary for a while.
She was that classic Mothers and Babies building down the
Yes,
park.
in the yes, that was opened while I was on the committee,
And you used to do all that work for the
on the
Angaston
Auxiliary.
Auxiliary up at Yalumba, Hill Smith. Helen only passed away a couple of years ago now, I suppose. Time goes so quickly.
It does. Funny like that.
Well, it seems to us as we're getting older, but
Is that Mothers and Babies still open? I don't think it is.
Yes, but they don't have it there. It's just used as a.
the building, you mean,
Yes.
in the reserve?
The CWA took it
Well,
over.
it's mainly just a restroom now. isn't it?
Yes, but we used to hold our meetings down there, and after it was there was a where the current tennis courts are, you know, the layout. There was a croquet lawn there, and they had a club room down there, but that was many years ago.
I played badminton and
Badminton as well.
the younger
Where did you
days.
play that?
In the show hall at Angaston.
Yep.
And we used to. There were a lot older the people that I was interested in it, and I can always remember we had for supper. You had a bottle of West End, a long neck, and some fabulous homemade pies made by a semi-cripple who had a baker's shop at Sedan. And they used to get these sent up with the mail every, I don't know what nights it was now, Tuesday nights we used to play.
Yeah, I can remember playing on Angaston Oval early years because it was waterlogged, you know, and it was very muddy and that. And I think I kicked 5 goals, 10.
Yeah.
Playing full forward. The ball would come along, scoot along the ground, and I'd be at the back waiting to pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, we'll grab that. Oh, thanks very much, Neville. You've done well.
Good man.
He did very well for the club.
And so did you. Thanks very much, Jack. Good job. Shoops, thanks very much.
No worries.
Oh, there we go. Anything to add?
Didn't think I could get up.
If I'd known you were going to do this, I would have had a shave or would have cleaned the place up. And
I would have put a suit on.